Well, you go ahead and read our lovely letter, and I will.
Yes, sir.
I'll take my notes like I normally do.
Alrighty. Letter. I am tired of living paycheck to paycheck. Please tell me what I should do differently.
Cool.
Dear Fi Guys, I'm feeling lost and seeking your guidance. I just turned 25 and I'm working as an assistant teacher, earning almost $1,800 a month. Monthly expenses include rent, $802 with roommates, electricity, $50, water, sewer, trash, $50 as well, internet, $45, phone, $98. The first loan is $88. This is a month.
Okay.
The second loan is $212.
Oh boy. Okay.
I assume is also a month. And the minimum payments on credit cards are $45 for Chase and $100 plus for Apple Card.
That's just the minimum payment.
Yeah, that's just the minimum payments. That's a spicy payment, which are often maxed out due to groceries. You gotta eat. Okay, so let's get into the bulk of this. After bills, I'm left with $305 for groceries. And that's if I get a full month's pay. As an assistant teacher, I don't get paid during holidays or summer breaks, leaving me worried about savings or paying off debt. I have no college degree, limited job opportunities in my area, and I don't drive, and I'm scared I won't be able to save or pay off my debts, and that worries me.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm feeling a little bit stuck and having a quarter life crisis.
I've been there.
I love that. Damn, I'm also 25, so I'm like, ooh, it's coming. It's coming. I've been listening to the podcast, and I don't know if the things you have spoken about for getting me out of debt and getting better with finance apply to me. I'm an individual with a genuine desire to improve my financial situation. I just don't even know where to start. What do I do? Is this just my life now? From 1 in a quarter life crisis, stuck feeling trapped in a financial riptide, seeking fiscal clarity with you as a guide.
Well, we are here to guide you as best as we can.
Indeed.
So the first thing I always want to do is I want to first off thank you for reaching out, and I want you to let you know that you're really brave for reaching out and asking for help. Most people never do that, and they end up just kind of meandering through life, hoping for the best, hoping that someone's going to come and save them.
Yeah.
So don't feel ashamed for seeking assistance at all. And then the fear that you said that you have, that's completely normal. That fear just means that fear is driving you towards taking a step outside of your comfort zone.
Bingo.
Even though you're uncomfortable right now because you're living basically paycheck to paycheck, it's what you know. So it is a bit comfortable. Yeah. So asking this difficult question is the first thing you need to do in order to start on the right path.
Yeah.
And we'll always talk about being on the right path, right?
Yep. Definitely.
So first thing I got to do is I got to give you a little bit of tough love, though.
Yep.
What the hell do you mean that you don't know if the things that we've spoken about are going to help you get out of debt and get better at finances? How do you think that what we talked about will not apply to you?
Yeah. Well, the stuff we talk about is general information. It's for everyone. Anybody can use it, and it's kind of like we wouldn't speak on it if we haven't done it ourselves. So it's definitely possible.
Yeah. So I've experienced this where people will say like, well, you're talking about things, but that doesn't apply to me because I'm special and my situation's different.
Yeah.
Well, your situation isn't that different.
No.
Afterwards we'll talk a little bit about how it's very clear to see from someone outside looking in what you need to do, but it's hard when you're in the situation. So it sounds like you might have some limiting beliefs as to what you need to work on. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to first know that you are deserving of being good and having a sound financial future. You can be good with money. It sounds like you're kind of putting off like that. You're telling yourself that you can't be good with money. And what you tell yourself is going to be a reality. Do or do not, there is no try.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want you to look into the mirror every morning and I want you to tell yourself that you will be good with money and that you are good with money. That's the first thing. I want you to stop this limiting belief. And then I also want you to start looking at what thoughts and feelings do you have around money that is currently holding you back.
I like that.
Because what I find a lot of people who are in this situation where they feel stuck, they sometimes believe that they're not worthy of being good with money. or that somehow being good with money means that you're a bad person. And a lot of that comes back to their childhood, where maybe mom and dad said, oh, well, people that have money are bad people because that means they took it from somebody else.
Yeah.
That's not true at all.
Yeah.
But, until you can overcome that belief, and I had all these beliefs, I get it. I do. It wasn't until I had my mindset shift and things kind of changed that everything else changed for me. So just tell yourself every day, stick to the grind.
And then I just want to make a quick little point on the looking into the mirror and telling yourself that you're going to be good with money. I find that very interesting. For me personally, I have a Notion thing, it's basically like a journal, basically. And every morning I write in it, and it's already filled out, right? So it has like my monthly goal, it has my weekly goal already there. And then you go down a little bit, and I have about 5 bubbles that are already pre-filled in. It says, I am. And then I fill it in every day.
Oh, cool.
So if I'm feeling sad, if I'm feeling bad, I'll write in there, like, I am happy. I am the best version of myself. I'm improving. I'm getting stronger every single day. And by the time I fill it out, I read it, you know what? I am getting better. I am getting stronger. I am good with money. I am trying my best. I'm doing good. It really reinforces that positivity in your mindset, and you can't move forward and grow when your mind is negative.
Yep.
You've got to be positive.
You got to get out of the mud. And sometimes
Absolutely.
it just takes focusing on the positive. That's why instead of saying like, I have to do these things, I have to go to work, I have to do this, I get to go to work.
Yep.
I get to. And it's just, it's a subtle difference. It's one word. It's have versus get.
Yeah.
And it makes all the difference in life.
Yeah.
Even for me, like with my really strict diet, it's not, oh, I only get to eat once a day. No, I get to eat once a day because that sets me up for the rest of my life. I have to wake up against the cold plunge. No, I get to get in the cold plunge. Like I'm so blessed to have a cold plunge in my house.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the tough love though.
Yeah, tough love.
You need to take some ownership of your life, man. Easy choice, hard life. Hard choice, easy life.
Yeah.
I know that you didn't purposely put yourself here, but it's time we need to make a change, and there's no better time than right now to start that change. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, once said, the one thing that all fools have in common is that they are getting ready to start. So are you ready to start today?
Gosh. Oh my God. That's a holy crap. The one thing all fools have in common is that they're all getting ready to start. Oh my gosh.
And that always happens. So many people think like, oh, in the new year I'll start. Next week I'll start. Whatever. Start right freaking now. But people do focus people think of their life as chapters. So if you can say like, we're halfway through December. Today is what, the 15th, something like that?
Something like that.
Today's the 15th. So we're halfway through December. That's a good starting point. Or if you need to wait till January 1, you can, and just turn that chapter on your old self.
Yeah.
The old self who's living paycheck to paycheck, that's past you. When you look back at the story of your life, you're going to say, this was the chapter where I took control of my life. The 5 guys, Chris and Dom, told me the way it is, and I listened.
Yeah. Simple as that.
All right. So first thing I want you to do is you got to focus on your habits, man. What do we talk about? What you make minus what you spend gets you to start being good with money.
Bingo.
80 to 90% of it is focusing on your habits.
Bingo.
So let's look first off at your expenses, okay? Your expenses are already pretty low. You did say that your phone is $98 a month, which is high.
That is pretty high.
So I'm assuming at that point that you're also financing the phone. Bad decision. We can look back on that and say that was a bad decision. You probably shouldn't have financed the phone if you're already here.
Yep.
But I would also look maybe into Mint Mobile.
There's so many services now.
I was just looking into Mint. It's $15 a month. Now it piggybacks onto another one, so you're not going to be getting the Prime services.
Well, there's also one by Verizon. It's like $25 a month.
Really? Yeah. So there's ways.
There's a few. There
are things.
We got to cut as much of the expenses as possible.
Yep. Yeah. Another thought is you're spending $800 a month with a roommate. I don't know what part of the country you're in, so that could either be really cheap or really expensive, depending on where you are. But can you maybe move it back in with mom and dad? You're 25 years old. I know
that's still young.
I know, but I know there's like a pride thing, and trust me, I feel that.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely a pride thing. Can you move in with another family member for some time? Because zeroing out your rent just for a little bit of time will give you some breathing room.
Definitely.
And that breathing room will give you higher bird's eye view, to detach from the situation, to see what tactical moves you need to make next to be able to overcome this. But right now, when you're mired in the mud, like we just talked about, and you're saying, I'm not good with this, I can't figure this out, your thoughts and your words will become your reality.
Definitely.
Yeah. The other side of the equation is make more money. This is honestly the low-hanging fruit here. I know that you're an assistant teacher, and I'm sure that you love what you do. I hope that you at least like what you do, but you need to find a job that pays more. Like, can you get a part-time job?
That's what I was thinking. Because, like, if you're an assistant teacher, maybe, and she was saying that, like, she or he, they were saying that, you know, they don't get holidays, they don't get paid on holidays or summer break. That summer break is when you should get another job.
Yeah.
And maybe that job becomes more, or you can once school starts up again, that can be like your part-time job, and you go back to this just to get your head above water.
Yeah, and then that's something that I wanted. That was actually gonna be my next point. But like, what are you currently doing to earn money during summer and holiday breaks?
Like, is it just a vacation?
Yeah, because my fear is that you're saying like, oh, I can't figure this out. I guess I have these 3 months to figure it out. And you just kind of sit around.
Yeah.
And if you're in like a really bad state of depression, I understand what that feels like, and to be like, I can't get out of this. But nothing changes if nothing changes.
Yeah.
You need to be the person that get to start that change. So, in episode 12 of all the course, and then episode whatever it was of the FI Crash course, we talked all about ways to increase your income. So please go back and listen to that. But can you start dog walking? You're already a teacher's assistant. Can you start tutoring? Can you do day labor, construction work? Can you do night call shifts? All these things, while not glamorous, there are ways to increase your income, even just momentarily, to get your head out of the water for a little while. So please go back and listen to episode 12. And then if you're not committed to teaching, if this isn't the route that you want to go, maybe look at a trade school or going into the military. You're 25 years old, you're young, hoping you're healthy. That might be a good path as well to maybe look at that.
Yeah, for me personally, I think if I was in their situation, for the hours I wouldn't work, I would be focused 100% on side hustles.
Yep, me too.
100%. You gotta make more money.
Yep.
That's the only thing. And it's not like, this ain't rocket science. You know this, I know this, Chris knows this, everybody knows this. You gotta make more money. Gotta make more money. Side hustles is the easiest way to do it, whether that's gig economy work, whether that's starting an online store, whatever it takes to keep your costs low, as absolutely small as possible, preferably zero.
Yep.
Because it doesn't cost anything to drive for Uber, you know.
Well, this person doesn't drive, so that's why I said like dog walking or something like that.
That's right.
Dog walking.
Thank you for that.
Picking up poop, like hanging lights.
Yeah, so for me, like, just side hustling, creating something. You already have internet. I assume you got a phone or a laptop. Just creating a store or find a side hustle you can do from your home.
Yeah, and I'd probably recommend gig economy stuff, because the one thing that I worry about by saying like start a business is that those things take time to scale, and you're in the situation that you don't have that time to scale. You're so stuck in it that you're going to give up. I think they're going to give up too fast if they're trying to wait. So I would say get into stuff like Rover would probably be a good one. That's where my mind's going, especially if you don't drive. Like, you're getting to work somehow, so you probably know public transit.
Yeah.
So you're saving money on a car. That's good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I didn't think about that, because I know for most business owners, they usually fail their first business. I've done it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure you've done it. Maybe. Yeah. Probably. It's just part of the game. You got to fail a few times before you can succeed.
You fail forward.
Yeah. Yes. Very true. Very true.
You fail, you learn a little bit more. But yeah, you need to start figuring that out. And please go back to episode 12 of the entire pod and the podcast about ways to increase your income. Re-listen to that and start looking for ways, because there are a multitude of different ways. Shoot, you might even be able to go and negotiate with your current place.
Yeah, or ask for a raise.
Ask for a raise. You can always ask. Yeah. Worst thing they can say is no.
Yeah.
And then go online and start looking at what other teachers or other teaching assistants are making in your area.
Yeah. Or maybe other schools might pay more.
Yeah, maybe a private school. I don't know.
Dude, tutoring pays.
Yeah,
it pays crazy.
That's what I'm thinking too. Is like this person, like they have this ability to just market to other people. You can go to your classmates, to your students, and say, hey, or to the students' parents, hey, little Timmy is really struggling. Yeah. You know, I do offer tutoring services outside of normal school hours for $100 an hour.
Yeah, I was going to say way less. You could make twice, 3 times, 4 times as much per hour. just tutoring.
Yep.
Yeah.
You definitely can.
Well, and you could have them come to your house. I don't know if that's something you'd be interested in, but I know a lot of teachers, that's how they taught.
Yeah. Or now everything's virtual too. You can even just hop on Zoom and do it.
Yeah, that's actually so true.
Yeah. And then my next point is you need to stop maxing out your cards and no more personal loans. I'm going to assume that majority of the things that you do, I know you said that all of that's going to food. $300 a month for food for one person isn't super high, but you can
Cut those a little bit.
You can definitely cut those a little bit. Try buying in bulk. Try meal planning. My hope is that you're not eating out and stuff like that, because that's really going to eat into this. And then once you do finally wipe out your debts, and it might take time, and that's okay. You stick to the path. Once you wipe out those debts, you need to commit to not bringing on any more debt. You can get out of this. I know you can, but it's going to take time. It's going to take commitment, and it's going to take consistent effort. I always like to say diamonds are formed under pressure.
True.
When you look back on this chapter of your life, you're going to say, I'm so thankful that I had this opportunity to go through this, because it's going to set you up for having the right money mindset when you move on to the next stage. And I can talk to this from personal experience. I've been in this situation where you're just feeling like you're completely lost and there's no hope. And if you can keep that mentality, once you get out of it and you kind of stick to that grind, it's going to set you up just phenomenally.
Definitely.
So promise me that you are going to look in the mirror every day and tell yourself that you can be good with money. Promise me that you will focus on the systems and the habits. And I promise you that we will continue to put out good information that helps people like you on the path of financial independence.
Definitely.
Remember that you're the hero of your own story. We're just the guides.
It's true. It's true. Simple as that. Yeah. I mean, you got this.
You do.
As simple as that.
You can be good with money. You are good with money.
Yeah. Yeah. People are in worse situations that have come back.
Yep. And most importantly, you have the wherewithal and the courage to ask for help.
Definitely. Definitely. With that being said, anything else on that topic?
Not, I kind of touched on it, but I think it's important. I was talking to my wife last night about detachment and the ability to detach from situations and leadership skills and all things. And as you read this letter, I was just thinking, like, it's so clear, it's so easy. Like, you got to make more money, and you got to spend less money, and you got to wipe out those debts. But when you're in the situation, for this person who's in the situation, you can't see that, because in a worst scenario, you're looking down the barrel of your gun, and all you see is that. You see down the barrel of that gun. It's not till you're able to detach. Stop looking down the barrel and get the wider perspective that you're able to see, oh, everything's so much clearer. So what I often ask myself when I'm in a situation that I don't know the answer to, you do know the answer. You just can't see it because you're in it. So ask yourself the same question. What would I do if my friend came to me with this problem?
That's good. That's really good, yeah.
What would I do if someone came to me asking me for my advice in my situation?
Bingo.
Gives you that level of detachment. You can be like, I would tell them to make more money. I would tell them to get a second job.
Yeah. Yeah. That's simple.
And that's, then again, it comes down to what are you willing to do?
Yeah.
And I hope you're willing to do anything that it does to get out of this.
Anything that it takes.
Anything that it takes.
Yeah.
Within reason. Like I don't expect you to cut off your leg and try to sell that. Like
Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that.